Hey guys, we've had an amazing year in the real estate market, a long 30A in 2020. We're going to talk to you today about what we see coming, the predictions we have for 2021. All right, guys, I'm Jimmy Burgess. I'm here with Angela Ragsdale. We're with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Beach Properties of Florida, 30A Real Estate, and today we're going to share with people some of the things that we see not only forming at the end of 2020, but we're going to make some predictions on some things that we see either continuing or developing into 2021 that'll affect the real estate market. Let's get right into it, Angela. Let's talk about some of the things that we've seen, historically speaking. We've been a second home market, investment market. Obviously, we have a community, but it's been smaller. What are we seeing right now and something we anticipate we'll see going into 2021?
Well, Jimmy, I don't think the numbers lie. We are seeing more people move here. South Walton High School saw 57 new enrollees.
Amazing.
I don't think there were 57 kids in the senior class when we moved here and enrolled our daughter.
Yes, I know.
So that's growth.
Yeah. And what's incredible too is we're looking at families moving here. You know, a lot of times when you see beach communities, you see that it is retirees. Now with more primary residents here, all of these amenities we've got, they begin to expand, and it begins to just really expand the entire economy.
Absolutely, and I think the days of having an off season are over.
And that rolls us right into our second trend is that we are seeing rental numbers go through the roof. When we're recording this, the numbers from August to December for this past year versus last year, which was really a big time frame of what we're looking, we had a 58% increase in bed tax revenues. Now, this is the thing. Typically, our market is going to be at 100% capacity during the summer. We're booked out.
Right.
It's those months that are in between there. And so what happens when we see these kind of numbers here, my projection would be and that we would continue to see that this year. All right, well, that brings us to our third prediction, which is that prices will continue to move up.
Jimmy, it's a simple supply and demand. We just don't have the number of homes right now for the people that want to live here.
Yeah, it's pretty evident too when you start looking at really the number of homes that we have on market. I've been doing this for 27 years. I've never seen the limited amount of homes we have for sale. One of the things that we always kind of watch is the average days on market. And what this is from the time that the average house comes on the market to the time that it sells or goes under contract, what is that time frame? And it gives us an indication of where we are. We're now under 2 months worth of inventory, which kind of gives us an idea. You know, that gives you an idea that if we just sell the homes we've got based on the number of homes that have been selling on average per month, we've only got 2 months worth right now. I've never seen it that low. As you mentioned, simple supply and demand. What we saw last year was we saw a 16% increase on the average price per square foot on a house. Now that sounds dramatic because we've been running very similar.
Correct.
But one of the things that we just talked about was that we probably aren't going to have an off season. Now when you start looking at this and you see a 58% increase in bed tax revenues,
that's big.
That means there's a 58% increase in rental income. Now, we know that a lot of people are looking at houses here from an investment standpoint. So the question becomes, was the house affordable last year? Absolutely. The market was showing that it was affordable and it was understandable. If we've got rental income or income on the investment going up 58% and we've got the price going up 16%, the numbers still make sense. So here we are, low supply, high demand, increased rental revenue. We're just sitting here with a recipe for prices to move up in a pretty dramatic fashion, hopefully not too much in 2021. All right, that brings us to our fourth factor and probably what we predict going forward, and that is?
Continued low interest rates.
Absolutely, yeah.
Money is super cheap to borrow right now. We're seeing 2.9 to 3.4 depending on what kind of mortgage you're looking at.
It's almost like perfect storm, so to speak, where our area is so desirable. There's so much demand, there's so little supply. Interest rates low, cheap money. Well, when you have that, you have a concentration of area where we see, like we did last year, 16% on the average price per square foot. So when that price moves up like that, what typically happens? That's our next prediction.
Yeah, people are moving out in the outlying areas.
That's exactly.
So we're seeing Freeport explode, growth in Defuniak Springs, Miramar Beach. There's only one way for us to go. So we're on a peninsula.
Right.
We're going to push north of the bay.
You know, me growing up in Defuniak Springs,
Yeah.
I mean, literally it would take us, depending on if the drawbridge was up, you know, it would take us forever to get down to the beach. Well, now here we are, literally right now, from the interstate to Highway 98, it's 22 minutes. It's 22 minutes. Think about the person that's in Atlanta that's used to commuting across across town.
Yeah, and that trip used to take an hour.
Yeah, and it's much more beautiful to come across that bridge and
Yeah.
come in here. You know, people, they come here, and the reason why it almost feels like they're stepping back in time. It is literally, it's still a place where families ride bikes together. There
Yep.
is, you know, we sit on the back porch in the afternoon. We watch the sun go down as a family.
My husband has always called this area Mayberry meets the beach.
It absolutely is. I mean, and it's just that feeling of, I think we all have that drawing back to what we remember, and maybe some type of a peaceful area, or a time when things were simpler. And that's what this place offers. And that's where it's almost like, I don't care where you're coming from. I don't care if you're coming across the 331 bridge, you're coming across and you're coming from Panama City. It seems like, or you're coming from Destin even. It seems like when you get to the 30A area, it's like you just take a deep breath.
Just
it's like
exhale.
your soul is where it's supposed to
Yes.
be. And so as we go into this next year, the biggest prediction is that everything that's made our area attractive this past year is only going to continue to be magnified. So as we go into this year, tons of opportunity out there, a lot of things going on. I know that if anybody has any questions that they have about the real estate market or anything going on, get in touch with Angela, get in touch with me. We'd love to help you. This has been fun, Angela, but I got to be honest. I am sitting here, and we're at Choctawhatchee Noodle Bar, and it's dinner time.
It is.
And I can't wait to get a hold of that. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys soon.